You probably think the internet is just out there. A cloud of data you connect to wirelessly. You send an email, stream a movie, and it all feels like magic. But what if I told you that between 95% and 99% of international data isn't in a cloud at all? It's happening right here, at the bottom of the ocean. You think of the internet as wireless, but it's actually a fragile web of undersea cables. Some no thicker than a garden hose, carrying the weight of our entire digital world. And for decades, these cables have been hiding some mind-blowing secrets. We're about to reveal 7 of them. Everything you do online, from global financial markets to your family video calls, races as pulses of light through a network of well over 1.4 million kilometers of fiber optic cables laid across the ocean floor. This physical network is the real internet. But how it works and just how vulnerable it is are some of the most important and least known truths of our time. So, let's get into it. The first and biggest secret is the one we just gave away. The cloud isn't floating above your head. It's lying on the cold, dark seabed. When you upload a file, it doesn't just float into the ether. It's converted into light and shot through tiny glass fibers, each as thin as a human hair, that are bundled inside these massive undersea cables. Those data packets travel at nearly the speed of light to data centers on other continents. The idea of a weightless, wireless internet is a great marketing trick, but the reality is a system that's very physical, incredibly expensive, and surprisingly fragile. It's a little terrifying to think that the backbone of the global economy can be so delicate. The full cable assembly has layers of plastic, steel wire, and copper to protect the core and power signal boosters. But the all-important fiber optic strands inside are shockingly thin. This entire design, often no thicker than a common garden hose, has to withstand crushing ocean pressure, rocky seabeds, and a whole lot of physical threats. It's an absolute marvel of engineering that something so seemingly flimsy powers trillions of dollars in financial transactions every single day.
You've probably seen a headline or two about sharks chomping on internet cables. And while it has happened, sharks can get curious about the electromagnetic fields. It's incredibly rare and not a real threat anymore, thanks to better cable shielding. The actual, everyday danger is way more boring. Ship anchors and fishing gear. These two things alone cause about 2/3 of all cable damage. A single, carelessly dropped anchor can sever a connection and knock an entire region's connectivity offline, which happens over 100 times every year around the globe. Where these cables are laid, who lays them, and who can access them, has become a massive geopolitical chess match. Western nations are growing more and more suspicious of Chinese-built cables, fearing they could be used for espionage and data theft. The US has even actively blocked projects involving Chinese companies to promote alternatives. At the same time, Russian submarines and research ships are frequently spotted near critical cable routes, sparking alarm in NATO. The fear is that in a conflict, these cables could be cut, crippling an enemy's economy and communications without ever firing a missile. If you assume governments own this critical infrastructure, you'd be wrong. It used to be that big telecom consortiums were the main players, but today, the biggest investors are the ones who need the data most: Google, Meta, Amazon, and Microsoft. Just over a decade ago, these companies had a stake in less than 10% of undersea cable capacity. Today, they are funding around 2/3 of all new transoceanic cable investment. They're pouring billions into laying their own private cables, like Google's Equiano and Meta's To Africa, to guarantee the insane speeds and bandwidth their services demand. This is a hidden battle for control that will define the next century. If you're finding these secrets as wild as we do, take a second to hit that subscribe button. It really helps us dig deeper into topics just like this one. Even though the internet is designed to be a resilient web, some places are dangerously dependent on just 1 or 2 cable connections. In 2024, multiple cable cuts in the Red Sea and off the coast of West Africa
caused massive, widespread internet outages. Countries like Liberia were almost completely knocked offline for hours.